Hey guys, what's up? It's Dean with Manful Yoga, and today I'm going to talk about the 4 best exercises that you can do to improve your glute strength, your buttock strength. So, a lot of people come to yoga because they have knee issues, because they have lower back issues, and yoga is great for addressing these. And one reason is because of the emphasis on strengthening your glutes. But unless you're doing the technique correct, you will not get the benefits of strengthening your glutes. So strengthening your glutes is going to help reduce the risk of injury to your knee. It's also going to reduce the lower back pain and lower back discomfort that a lot of people have throughout the day. And it's also going to make your buttock muscles larger. So there's a lot of reasons why we would want to do glute exercises. And the benefit of doing them within yoga is the isometric benefit. So holding the pose for a long time, concentrating on contracting the muscle, and that leading to hypertrophy or muscle growth. So we're going to work on 4 poses. We've got airplane or warrior 3. We're going to do a figure 4 balance. We're going to do warrior 2. And we're also going to do a deep squat. So all of these things will help with glute strengthening, but you have to do them the right way. So first off, airplane. I want to start off with a very shallow lunge, focusing on looking straight forward, keeping your hips squared up to the front. From here, come up onto balance on one leg, okay? And then here's the part that you need to work on to engage your glute. Turn your right hip down so that your hips are level. It's a good idea to use something nearby you to help balance if this is your first time doing it. You want to straighten your leg as much as you can. I'd keep a slight bend in your knee. If you can't do this yet, if you don't have the flexibility, warm up a little bit first and then get into it. Bend your knee as much as you need to. Just make sure that the glute, the buttock of your standing leg is engaged. And then point your toes to the back in your back leg and flex this buttock as well. So both glutes are engaged here, strengthening your glutes. You want to avoid leaning forward like this because this puts the pressure in your knee. So keep your knee back, keep your weight to the back, your hips right above your standing ankle, and then go ahead and relax. We'll switch sides. I'll give you guys a chance to do the opposite side as well and correct anything that you got wrong in the last one. So again, switching positions now, right foot out in front, left foot back. Come to balance on your right foot, hips just above your ankle, and externally rotating your right hip so that your hips are facing straight forward and you feel this buttock engaged. That will help to improve the strength there. And again, that's going to help with taking the pressure out of your lower back, taking discomfort out of your lower back, and also reducing the risk of injuries to your knees. Also pointing the back leg here, making sure that you're lifted, the buttock of your lifted leg is engaged as well, and then take it back to standing. So that's airplane. Warrior 3, just stick your arms out in front of you as you're doing airplane. That will add a shoulder opening and core benefit, a little bit more core as well. Next pose we're going into is a figure 4 balance. And this is great because not only does it strengthen your glute, but it also stretches your glutes. And that's important. If we want to grow the muscle, we have to stretch the muscle. The flexibility of the muscle is entirely related to the strength of the muscle. So we're going to start, I guess I'll face you like this. We're going to cross your right leg over your left thigh, like so, and make a figure 4, hence the figure 4 balance term. From here, we're going to bend into the knee, the standing leg. You're going to engage the toes of the lifted leg and push your butt back. Now, you're lightly pressing your right knee to the ground, the leg that is lifted, and you're also pushing your hips to the back, and that's going to engage the buttock of the planted foot. So now I'm stretching the glute of the lifted leg, and I'm strengthening the glute of my planted foot. So the more you get your weight to the back and the more you sink down, the harder it is going to be for your glutes. If you lean forward and you let your knees come forward, all the pressure is going to go into your quads. So in order to make this effective for your glutes, make sure your weight is at the back. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. So same thing, now crossing your left leg over your right leg, hips facing straight forward. Try to keep your hips behind the toes of your planted foot. So don't let your hips go out to the side like this if you go down, but keep the buttock engaged to the standing leg and keep that hip externally rotated to engage the buttock. Okay, we're gonna take this down, push your butt to the back, make sure you can see your whole foot, and then pull your chest up and forward, lightly press the knee of the lifted leg down toward the ground. And again, the lower you sit down into this, the more you get your butt back, the more glute engagement that occurs. And then slowly lifting the chest, and that's going to help working on core strength. The straighter your spine can get in this position, and the deeper you can get, the more glute strength, the more core strength you're going to develop. All right, let's move on to Warrior 2. And the reason why I selected Warrior 2 is because of the external hip rotation involved in the front leg. So when you externally rotate your hips, that's how your glute engages. So we're going to start in a wide-legged position, wide-legged, and then turn your front foot out. I'm going to turn my right foot out to the side, and then bend into my right knee, knee over the ankle. Now, check back in with your right buttock. Make sure that that muscle is engaged, that it's hard, and make sure that your knee is not going forward over your toes. Because again, the more your knee goes forward over your toes, the more the load, the weight of your body shifts into your quad. So we want to really work on keeping the knee right above the ankle and contracting the glute. Now squeeze your legs toward one another, like you're going to scrunch the mat up underneath you, and you've got really nice glute engagement going on here. And then hold that for anywhere from 30 seconds to even up to 2 minutes. The more endurance, the longer you go. Obviously, the harder it's going to be and the more muscle and the stronger you're going to get. Let's switch sides. So knee going over the ankle and the front foot now. If you look down, you should be able to see your big toe and your second largest toe. So you want to make sure that your knee is not coming in toward the middle. Make sure that your knee is reaching out to the side, and you do that by engaging the glute of the front leg. So as this glute engages, my hip turns out. See? So external hip rotation, foot turning out. So that's applied here, external rotation, external rotation, and then foot turning out, knee tracking over the middle toe in the front foot. All right. Last exercise, going into a deep squat. So for a deep squat, I want you to have your feet about shoulder width distant, maybe a little bit wider than shoulder width distant. And then depending on your hip flexibility, feet facing straight forward if you've got really good hip flexibility. And then if your hip flexibility isn't so great, your toes facing out to the side, just a bit. Bend your knees about 2 inches, push your butt way to the back. And here's the important part. Pushing your butt way to the back. So don't get your butt down, because look where my knees are. They're way over my toes right now. So you want to work on getting your butt really far back at first, bringing your chest forward, even exaggerating it. That way you can counterbalance your butt going far back with the weight of your upper body. And then from here, slowly lowering your butt down, but making sure to keep your knees back. So notice that my knees aren't coming forward past my toes, but I'm keeping my knees behind my legs, squeezing my legs toward one another, externally rotating both hips, so contracting the muscles in my buttocks, and then lifting my chest. And then to develop core strength and more glute strength here, we're going to take it lower and we're going to lean back more. And I'm going to lean back to the point that I fall over because I want to test my limits. If I don't lean back far enough and don't get to the point where I'm falling over, I'm really not going to get a lot stronger because I'm not pushing my limits. So as you're working on a deep squat, make sure that you're going way back into the squat as far as you can, leaning back, and see how my feet are coming off the ground right now? That's a sign that I'm testing my limits, okay? So butt going back, torso lifting up, trying to flatten out my spine, and that's going to get a lot of core strength involved. And if you're at all interested in improving your squat whether it's a 1 rep max in a back squat or just getting deeper. This is gonna help a lot. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you're subscribed, like on Facebook, all that stuff. Sign up for the email list. I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.